Hi, I'm Kevin. I'm with a company called MegaTest. We're a biomedical and appliance testing tag company based here in Christchurch. So how's everyone getting on in their own little bubble? Are you keeping yourself safe? I certainly hope so. I just want to take a little bit of time just for people setting up home offices, potentially working in their little workshops and their garages, etc. I just wanted to take a little chance to just show you what sort of things you should be looking out for on the electrical side of things to keep yourself safe, so that we can all get through this together. The first point I want to raise is faulty cords or flexes or leads or whatever you want to call them. Now, when we're out in the field doing our visual checks, and this is what we're going to talk about, because obviously everybody at home doesn't have the ability to put an appliance through a testing environment, but we want you to just be doing at least the bare minimum of doing visual checks. So there's a few things we look for when we're out in the field, trying to find the things that could lead to some sort of injury or cause some damage or etc. So one of the main things we see when we're out in the field is leads where you can see that the cord here has been flexed quite a bit to the point where it's broken the outer covering or the outer insulation and is exposing what we call the core wires, which in this case is the blue and the brown. Now, obviously, if you come across any of these faults, the recommendation is stop using it straight away. Well, I strongly recommend you stop using it straight away. So that's the first thing. If you see anything like that, stop using it. If you're out in your workshop and you get a little nick in a lead, you can see that that lead's actually got a wee nick in it, and it's again exposed to core wires. I'm trying to move it around so I can actually get it into the camera. I'll zoom it in quickly just so you can actually get an idea of what I'm talking about. But you can actually see that the cord has actually been cut and nicked somewhere on the line, and you can't use insulation tape to correct that. It is really a send it away and get repaired or replace. Obviously replacing at the moment is a bit more difficult, but we need to use a bit of common sense, for want of better words. Again, here's another one that's just had the core wires been split, as you can see. So they're the main things. The other thing just to check, and this one's a little bit more hidden, you won't see this unless you unplug your leads. So again, I'll just zoom in so that you can actually see what I'm talking about. But here's a 3-pin lead that we took off, an extension lead. Now you can see on this side here that there's a little black insulation. Now these were put on around 1992, and the reason being is if you put your finger on there, plug it into the outlet, you're not going to get yourself electrocuted. I know, it's a bit silly, but anyway, it's there for a reason. On this side you can actually see, if I can get it around the right way and get my face out of it so that that works better for everyone, you can actually see that the insulation's been taken away or is broken away. So if you see those sort of things, stop using the appliance or stop using that cord straight away. As I said, setting up home offices and stuff like that is a time when we're forced to use stuff that we wouldn't necessarily use, but I'm just using this as a strong recommendation. The other thing is overloading. Now, obviously, you're setting up your home office. The idea is go get yourself an extension lead and plug it into a multi-board, and then plug everything into your multi-board as well. Now, multi-boards these days are designed to trip circuit breakers or cut out if something goes wrong. Some of the cheaper brands may not necessarily do that, and they may trip a circuit back into the switchboard in your amenities area. Now the reason it trips is because we're using, to make it really simple, we're using too many watts based for the for the board. Now a 10 amp outlet, which is every house has the ability to run around about 2,200 watts. Most multi-boards are rated to 2,000 watts if they've got their own inbuilt system. So if you plug a toaster in, a jug in, an appliance, and it's running at 1,200 watts or 1,600 watts, you're already using quite a lot of the current, or the amount of power you can draw out through that board or through that outlet. Now the reason I say that is, if you are tripping your circuit breakers, you need to look at what you've got plugged in. And if you've got your computers plugged in, and you know, your coffee maker or whatever, just look at what the combined wattage is for all of that equipment and try to cut down on how much you're drawing from that one outlet. Now, if you're charging up cell phones, laptops, try to use a different outlet within the property or within inside your house or your bubble, and that will actually eliminate down. Now, of course, sometimes they're all connected together internally inside the wall, and the only way you'll tell is if it does still pop the circuit breaker. But the rule of thumb really would be is, don't try to use too much equipment off of one outlet. And if it does pop circuit breakers, do an investigation yourself. Read the bottom of the appliance, find out how many watts they're drawing, and you might find you're actually drawing two units that might be drawing 1200 watts and 1600 watts. Well, all of a sudden you've overdrawn on what that multi-board. I'm sorry if that gets a little bit involved, but I'm trying to give a bit of an explanation as well. The third thing that I want to bring to attention is the use of power adapters. Now, with the invent in importing appliances from overseas using the AliExpresses and stuff like that, you've got to realize that as soon as you need to use one of these type devices, you're actually two things. One, putting your insurance at risk. If something happens, you're not covered. Now, on the bottom of most appliances on the back, you'll see that they've actually got the approval for use in New Zealand. Now, this is a American plug, I think they are. It's rated to 240 volts, so the voltage is right, but the problem is you need to use one of these to actually use it. Now, by law, it actually became, you're not allowed to use these for permanent use in New Zealand. They're a travel adapter, and they're designed for people who are traveling into the country, who are here for a short stay, who have bought their units from America, but they don't want to go and buy something brand new with an AU plug or a New Zealand plug. So they go and buy an adapter. But to use these permanently in your property or in your house, if anything was to go wrong electrically, the insurance company could look at you and go, actually, you're not covered. That brings me to my second little piece on adapters. We came across this out in the field. It's a multi-board that's been fitted with a New Zealand plug. I don't know, I'm picking that this is, it's an Alto, so this has been an aftermarket fitted plug, and it's been fitted to a power board to take these US style plugs. I might actually no, it's not US, sorry, it's actually I think UK. Again, using something like this is illegal. Stop using it straight away, please. If anything was to happen, again, you're going to open yourself up two things. One, electric shock. Secondly, a problem with your insurance. So to wrap up quickly, I guess the main story is, if you're in doubt, if something doesn't look right, just stop using it. Seek some advice. I know that's a bit difficult at the moment, but hey, we're just working for our own bubble, so look us up on Google, MegaTest.co.nz. Look us up, send us an email, flick us a picture of what you've got, and just ask us our opinion. Just bear in mind that you can't cover these sort of things up with electrical tape and still use them, or masking tape that I actually saw out in the field once that was wet. It doesn't make it compliant. There is a tape that you can use called amalgam tape, but at $50 odd a roll, it's probably just as easy to go get a replacement plug and get it fitted by an electrician or a technician. We really shouldn't be doing this stuff ourselves at home, but I know we're all Kiwis and we all got the number 8 wire. So as I said, if in doubt, stop using it. If you're not too sure, flick us a message. We're more than happy to help you out and give you some advice. And stay safe out there, look after yourselves, and let's get through this. Thanks very much. Have a great day.